Hey, you packed and ready to go? How many times you heard this, right? I'm a parent, and I was a coach first before I was a parent, but I am definitely a parent. And the coaches and parents, we say the same thing. If you're about to go somewhere and do something, if it's not just a trip to the store, right? You're gonna say, hey, you ready to go? How many times have you been asked, you ready to go? Do you ask yourself that question though before you start today? Are you ready to go? If you were going to hike, let's say a little hill, what do you need to pack for hiking a little hill, right? Like maybe a hill in your community. Probably not that much. Let's say if you're going to hike up Mt Everest, you're gonna pack the same way? It's like right here is one of our pack baskets that my mother-in-law makes, and we store a bunch of stuff in it. Now this pack basket I could use also to go on a hike. Now, different things are gonna go in that pack basket depending on the hike that I'm going on. Now on a daily basis, a lot of people don't think about the fact that your day is a hike, right? Is it Mount Everest? I don't know. That's kind of up to you to determine. Do you need to hike Mount Everest? Do you even want to? But are you ready to go? And here's a couple things that I want to let you know about being ready to go. I'm going to tell you what I do to be ready to go, and actually what I advise our athletes to do the majority of the time. And that is, Hal Elrod had a book, and it was a very helpful book. And I'm not going to tell you Hal's story. You should look into that yourself because it's a crazy, phenomenal story. Anyways, he decided he would share with you his miracle morning. And the way that he remembers it is the acronym is SAVERS. It is silence, which is meditation, A, which is affirmations, V, which is visualization, E, which is exercise, R, which is reading, and S, which is scribing. I'm going to break these down really quick. So the S for silence, meditation. This does not have to be a religious thing. Let me say that again. This does not have to be a religious thing. Now, if you want to take meditation out and put prayer in, that's fine, but they're not the same, okay? Prayer can be very meditative, but it's not necessarily meditation. So again, take out the religious piece unless you want it to be in there, in which case that's fine too. But meditating, getting quiet is really, really important. Now, whatever order you want to do this thing is up to you because everybody works a little bit differently. The SAVERS is just the acronym, okay? I don't do it in that order. I don't meditate first because usually I need to get stuff out of my head first. And then sometimes I come back to that in the end. Actually, what I do is I do a brain dump first, then I meditate, and then I do the other stuff, and then I come back, and then I write stuff down again, because at that point, my mind is clear, and now it's ready to produce. Instead of at first, I need to reduce before I produce. So anyways, meditation, that's what the S is for silence. Affirmations, this is literally where you're going to speak positively to yourself about what it is that you feel the most strength with, or that you want to feel the most strongest about yourself. Positive characteristics and things that maybe you want people to say about you that you want to hear. So you start off by saying it first, then you're hearing it, and then physically hear it. Like when you say something, that affirmation, it's powerful if you feel it. So you need to hear it. Like the more senses you can involve, the better. If you can feel it, man, that's huge. And when you can connect other senses to it, it's even better. Visualization, you got to mentally see it in your mind's eye and then experience it physically. So that connection is really helpful. Then we get to, so that was the V. The E is exercise. Exercise, and this could just be any kind of movement, and it doesn't have to be for a long period of time. For most people, I always say, hey, listen, just do what you can do within the time and space that you have. Start there. And then later you can create more time, more space for this when you get a higher return on investment or when your reality changes. So, but do what you can where you are right now. And so whatever that movement is for you is going to be great. Now, the V was visualization. The E is exercise. The R is reading. Now, reading could be reading with your eyes. It could be reading with your ears, meaning listening. So it could be a podcast. It could be a book. It might be a book on tape. Like whatever works for you, whatever you get the most out of, do that. Do that truth which is right, most right for you. And that's an important thing. This is where you're taking in and learning. I don't like to usually take stuff in before I put stuff out. Like I said, I like to reduce before I produce. But it's up to you what works for you. A lot of people don't need to do that. I need to, because my brain's it's overly stimulated, and so I need that. That's just me. So if you don't have to do that, that's great. Then lastly, describing its expression. And then it's for a lot of people, it's writing it down physically. Some people it's an audio type of thing. It's like reading it into their voice memo or something like that. For other people, it might be connected more with their scribing and their writing might be more with a theatrical kind of thing. It might be more with dance or singing or whatever. This is literally just writing down and speaking to life what it is that's inside you. Some of the times, the affirmations might be written. You can write down what you like. It depends on what's most impactful for you. Completely up to you, though. This is the important thing. And this is just the beginning, savor. So you put it, whatever you need to have in there for you, because it's really what works for you. The other thing that I want to say with the morning piece is you try to design things for what your journey is for that day. Meaning, if you have a big journey, you probably want to have the best base camp possible. That means kicking off your morning exactly how it would be perfect. And you want to try to control that before you get out into the weather, right? If you're at base camp on Everest, you can't control the weather. And when the weather's perfect, boom, you push. And if it's good enough, boom, then you push. If it's just not going to work that way, probably doesn't make sense. You might need to adjust your schedule on what you're going to do for that day. So remember, before you get out into the climate, try to have the things that you need to deal with the things you can't control, while at the same time control the things you can, so that you give yourself the best opportunity to be able to push when you need to push. Now, it's like you're getting prepared for the opportunity of a lifetime before the lifetime of the opportunity. And that's really where the people who achieve greatly, that's where they get it done. And remember, all opportunities aren't equal. Some have a higher cost on the front end. Some have a higher cost possibly on the back end. Some have both. And so it doesn't mean that, they all take the same preparation. They don't. That's the point. If you're going to walk, a hill that's 10 feet high, that's in your neighborhood, that doesn't take the same level of preparation for a 10,000 foot peak, that is going to take some time and some effort and the right person and the right capacity and ability in order to execute on. So anyways, that savors. Again, it was silence, which we said meditation, affirmations, which is just self-talk, visualization, which we always said you need to tack in that feeling with it too. E is exercise, that's just movement. Your R is reading or listening, and then your S is scribing or writing, it's expression. And put this into practice, put this into your life, and do it every single day, because every single day is a journey, every single day is a hike. They're different heights, right? But every single day is an event. So prepare for that event. Also, give yourself permission to experience and enjoy that event in advance. What is it going to feel like at the end of the day if you accomplish everything that you want, right? And then what are the few things that you need to accomplish to feel a victory? With those 3 goals for the day, right? Now experience that victory in advance and then set forth on your day.